What's up, YouTube fish tube and fish fan? This is yours truly, Rob with the Freaks Aquariums. Today I want to introduce you to Dr. Tim's Aquatics. That means what I need for this is done. So what I'm bringing to you today is the Dr. Tim Aquatics beneficial foods. These are what they call their extras, which these are refill bags, sifters, and grinders. Now with the food, or as they call them, extras, you have garlic, peas, seaweed medley, mealworms, river shrimp, gammarus, and spirulina. Now the peas, the seaweed, the mealworms, the river shrimp, and the gammarus, they mention as using as a treat and just grinding it over your tank, which I'll show you a grinder in a second here. So if you're not familiar, kind of natural food to achieve certain things. Garlic is a natural immune system enhancer. It also helps to combat infections. The peas, natural laxative, high in fibers. The seaweed melody is an excellent source of vitamins and a natural color enhancer. Mealworms, high in protein, moderate in fat. River shrimp, high in fiber, enhances colors. And it's 7 o'clock, that's what you're hearing was my clock. And the gammarus, high in protein, low in fat. Spirulina, loads of vitamin, antioxidants, and enhanced colors. And as I mentioned, those items you can use as treats in the tank. Now, with the beneficial line, it's good for fresh as well as salt water. And what they actually have in their food is protein-rich salmon and menhaden, vitamin-rich carrots, spinach, and kelp, natural antioxidants, blueberries, nutrient-rich spirulina, probiotic cultures of lactobacillus, and marigolds for colors. What the food does not have is fillers, wheat, gluten, GMOs, no artificial colors, flavor, or preservatives. They say that it's ethoxyquin free, and it uses 60% or up to 60% less waste. So why is that important? So one, you're giving your inhabitants, and you can use this food, the sprinkle food you can use for bettas, reptiles, and birds, and fish. But this is a nitrogen flushed, which gives it freshness and makes it last longer. But what I mentioned about not disintegrating in the tank is kind of a bonus in one sense. Is this would make for an excellent vacation food because it doesn't break up. Then how it's processed and the nitrogen flushing will also make it so that you don't get cloudy water. Your fish are not creating a lot of unnecessary waste due to passing the fillers. It also contains water soluble vitamins, natural antioxidants, and it's fortified with vitamins and no stringy poop. But also with this, before you take this packet and a half a cup of boiling water and pour it in here, you stir it up to get rid of all the clumps. So now here you can add medicines if you have ailing inhabitants. You can add bloodworms, you can add brine shrimp, you can add what else did they say you can add? You can add krill, fish eggs, copepods, whatever you need that you want to add to it. And then that way you're good to go. If you know you're going on vacation for a week and you want to drop it in there, you can drop it in, because unlike some of the vacation things that are out there, they kind of just fall apart and you know your fish really aren't getting anything. So what I have here is the grinder. That is the beneficial seaweed medley, which is good for fresh and marine. And then they also they gave me a mealworm. And basically with these, now I wasn't really sure my fish were going to take to the seaweed, but as you can see, I've definitely been using it. Now, when it came to the mealworms, I really hadn't used it. It does grind up my angels and stuff. Some of the bigger fish would go after it, but I tried it with my cichlids and they went for it when they were smaller, and now they're big enough to where I could just put it in, you know, in pieces. But I really don't like to feed them that. I try to stick to a high quality flake food and a high quality pellet. But at any rate, just take this, pop the top up. See, I popped it up, turn it, shake it into the top, and then just twist and grind. And you can do it up or down. I prefer it up because it's easier. Push it back down so you're not dumping ungrinded food. Little tab. Pop it out, sprinkle it in your tank, and you're good to go. So again, that's the extras beneficial. Now even with this, if I wanted to, like if you have a reptile, you can take what I'm about to do and grind this mealworm up in there. And that way you're giving them extra. You could even do the seaweed in there. But this is kind of like Repashy. They give you the tray. They do have in their kit, they have a silicone, what they call their starter kits. So they have silicone trays. Now, this particular one, 5 minutes to do it. Let me just make sure my water is still at the boiling point. This packet makes 90 cubes, the equivalent to 13 ounces of fish food. And again, you can add whatever twist you want, garlic, peas, spirulina, river, as opposed to using it as a treat. You can mix it into food so that it's spreading it out. It's not, you know, dumping the direct source in the tank, so to speak. Okay. So we have our half cup of boiling water. Open up this packet. If it smells anything like Repashy. Close. That's what it looks like. So let's stir it in and see what happens. Phew. So with this, you're going to stir it for 2 minutes. All right, so it's all mixed up. See, it's kind of meaty. And it actually mixes up pretty easy. The one difference between this versus Repashy is, Repashy, you kind of need to do it quickly so that the gelatin doesn't start to set if it's in a container you don't want it to be in. This, on the other hand, goes in the freezer. So this is the step point where, if you want, you could grind up some of this. You know, you could even take some of your favorite fish food. As I was stirring this, I was thinking, well, I could even mix in some Repashy if I really wanted to take it to the next level. But I'm going to try this as is because I want to see how the fish respond to this. Phew, I'll tell you what though, it definitely smells. Like I said, this makes 90 cubes, so the issue here is, actually I'm going to do it this way. So I don't make a big mess. Okay. With that, we're going to dispense it. Now I'm assuming that when I mentioned it'll make 90 cubes, I think that's using the silicone trays that they supply, because I remember seeing one and the trays themselves are not as deep as this. Okay, just top the rest of these off. Definitely a lot of stuff in there. And then you just take the top. And now with this, you just put it in the freezer. So it's been 2 hours. And as you see, I was able to pop one out. Doesn't smell so bad. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to try one of these out. Show you how the fish react to it. And then I'm going to leave these in the freezer to continue to freeze. And this is definitely reusable. I don't know how many uses you'll get though, because when I popped it out you can kind of feel some flimsiness right here. So alright, let's go see how the fish respond. Alright folks, there you have it. What are your thoughts? My thoughts are, it's okay. As you saw from both tanks, the reactions were kind of slow, and until the pleco got in there in both tanks and started to kind of break it up and some of the bits started to float up, you could see the rainbows and, you know, the other tetras that were in there go after it, as well as in the other tank. You know, the angelfish hit it a couple times. But it wasn't the feverish pitch that I thought I would see. I know using Rapashi, that when I put that in there, by the time I get my hand like this, they're already yanking the cube out of my hand. So I was kind of thinking, okay, you know, they're used to the seafood meddling. They go after it. The rainbows and stuff seem to go after it a lot more. The grinder one. But I think the overall reception between both tanks and the various fish that I exposed to the beneficial foods didn't take as well as I would have thought. So in my opinion, it may work for other fish, it may work for your fish, but for me, I'm going to stick with the tried and true, the Rapashis, my Omegas, and continue down that route. So at least this was something worth trying. It didn't cost me anything, and you know, it was more content. So with that folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Have yourself a blessed day, and as always, keep those sleeves wet, and peace.